Hi folks, this is Vikas Bagil, a software engineer at Google, and welcome back to my YouTube channel VB Codes. Today I'm going to tell you about my interview experience at Google and how a recruiter approached me for that. But before that, if you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Okay, let's start for now. Let me give you a brief background about the situation. It was around mid of August and I was preparing for my campus placement test which were about to start from mid of September. And one day I saw a mail from a Google recruiter stating that she found me through some internal system, and if I'm interested in joining Google, then she was willing to get on a call and discuss with me about the interview process. So my first reaction was this either should be a prank or some kind of scam because I never applied for any position or role at Google. So I was not sure how can a Google recruiter directly approach me. Just to be sure, I also checked the recruiter's LinkedIn profile, and after discussing with my friend, I decided, okay, let's just meet with the recruiter and we will see what happens. During our discussion, the recruiter told me that they have selected me through some of their internal program, which I think has to be kickstart because I was not active at LinkedIn at the time and I did not apply anywhere else. So it has to be kickstart. She also informed me that I don't have to give any initial screening test and the telephonic round because I was directly qualified for the on-site interviews. I was very happy about all this, but there was a twist as there is a policy in Google according to which if you are not able to clear the interviews for a specific role, then you can reapply for that role only after 3 months. And within these 3 months, Google was supposed to come in my campus for on campus hiring. So I had to decide that whether I should sit for on campus placement or should I go for off campus. Both of these options have their own pros and cons. For example, in on campus, I had to clear the online assessment test, whereas in off campus, I was directly qualified for the interviews. But in on campus, I'll get more time to prepare and I had to compete with only few hundreds of students. Whereas in off campus, like thousands of students will be participating from all over the country. It was a very difficult decision to make. I decided that I am prepared enough and I will go for off campus interviews. So in Google, there are total of 5 interviews, out of which 4 are purely technical and one is a googliness round in which they will ask you some leadership and behavioral questions. The recruiter informed me that I had to give 3 rounds in one day, and based on the result, I will qualify for the other 2 rounds. And all these rounds were, of course, virtual due to COVID. So the first round began, and the interviewer gave me a decent problem. The moment I realized that I might be able to solve it, I became a little bit overconfident and started unnecessarily complexing the solution. But the interviewer gave me a hint, and finally, I was able to code a much simpler solution. But when the interviewer asked, what will happen in this test case, then I realized that there were many corner cases that I was missing, and all of these things made me more and more nervous. So anyhow, the interview was over. In the 20-minute break, I immediately called my friend and told him that the interview did not go well and I might not be able to make it to the next round. But my friend suggested that I should focus on the remaining 2 rounds and go there with a free mind as I still have some chance. So I decided to let go of all the pressure because I already blundered 1 round and there was no chance that I can cover it up. Now I can be myself. If I can come up with a solution, then well and good. And even if I cannot, then also it's fine. But luckily that day I aced both the remaining interviews, and in one of the interview I was even able to complete both the solutions before time, and the interviewer decided to call off the interview early. In the next couple of days, the recruiter informed me that I was qualified for the other 2 rounds. I was definitely very happy because I was not expecting that. So the next round was googliness round, where the interviewer asked me some behavioral and leadership questions. and I think I did a pretty good job there. And the final round was again a technical round where the interviewer asked some questions related to heap, and I was able to solve both the main and the follow-up questions under given time. After all these rounds, then started the waiting period. It really felt long as I was getting very anxious about the result. In Google, your packet first goes to a hiring committee which decides whether you are a good fit or not based on the feedbacks from your interviewer. And after that, there's a team matching phase where a hiring manager and you mutually decides whether you want to join that team or not. It took around 2 months to get cleared from hiring committee, but still I was worried because there has been cases where people are not able to join because no hiring manager accepted their packet. So I was very anxious whether I will get the offer or not. Also during this time Google visited our campus and had called for students for their online assessment test. So I decided to give the test just for practice, and after few days the recruiter called me and said, like, I saw your name on the top of qualified student list from your campus. You already cleared all the interviews. Why are you sitting again? Something like this. I told her that I was unsure whether I cleared the interviews or not, and finally she congratulated me and gave me an offer. All of this was around 1 week before the interview session in my campus placement. So by that time, I had already qualified for interviews in about 20 companies, but I decided to withdraw my name from the placement for other students. So this was my Google off-campus interview story. I hope this helps and motivates you to never get discouraged and stay focused on the future. If you like the video, please hit that like and subscribe button. This is Vikas Bagel signing off.